You ever look into the eyes of someone you raised, someone you fed, sheltered, protected, taught, sacrificed for, and realize they've quietly rewritten you out of their life like you were an old chapter they didn't want to reread? That kind of pain doesn't stab you. It hollows you out. My name is Michael Turner, 63 years old, retired mechanic, widower, father of two. Though for a long time it felt like I only had one. My daughter Lily, my son Jason. He used to be my pride-smart, charismatic, ambitious, but somewhere along the line, ambition twisted into arrogance, and arrogance twisted into something far uglier. This is the story of how my son tried to push me out of his life completely, and how I uncovered a secret so terrifying to him that it shattered the wall he built between us. It started subtle. He stopped calling as often, then stopped visiting, then started canceling plans without explanations. At first I told myself he was busy, work deadlines, relationship problems, the usual. But then the excuses got colder, sharper, rehearsed. Dad, I'm tied up. Dad, now's not a good time. Dad, I'll call you later. Except later never came. Meanwhile, he posted pictures on social media, parties, dinners, gatherings, plenty of good times. Just never with me. I noticed the pattern, but I didn't say anything. A father learns to swallow certain hurts. But the breaking point came at Lily's birthday dinner. She begged Jason to come. He promised. And when he finally walked in late, rushed, he didn't even look at me. Not a hello, not a hug, not a glance. He sat across the table and spoke to everyone except me. When I tried to include him, he cut me off with short, irritated answers like I was some stranger he had been forced to sit next to. After dinner, when we all stepped outside, he turned to Lily and said, "Next time, don't force me into these things." I was standing right there. He didn't care. But here's the truth. The universe always warns you before a storm. You just have to pay attention. A week later, I got a call not from Jason, but from his girlfriend Rachel. She asked if I had a moment to talk in private. Her voice trembled like someone standing on the edge of something heavy. We met at a cafe across town, and she walked in looking terrified and exhausted. "Michael," she said, "I don't know how to say this, but something is wrong with Jason. Really wrong." She told me he'd been lying to her, to his friends, to his boss. He'd become paranoid, jumpy, defensive. She said he kept saying things like, "My dad doesn't understand me," or "My dad's the reason I can't move forward," or "I need to separate myself from him." None of it made sense. I had never held him back. I helped pay his college tuition. I co-signed his first car. I let him stay in my house rent-free for 2 years while he got on his feet. But it wasn't about logic. It was about something he refused to tell me or anyone else. Rachel then hesitated, looked around, and whispered, "Michael, he's hiding something. Something financial." My stomach tightened. "What kind of financial?" She swallowed. "I don't know. But he's terrified anyone will find out." That was all I needed to hear. I didn't want to invade my son's privacy, but I also wasn't going to sit back and watch him destroy every relationship in his life, including ours, just to cover up some unknown secret. So I did what any concerned father would do. I paid attention. Quietly, carefully. A few days later, Jason showed up at my house unexpectedly. Not to visit, not to talk, but to ask, no, demand that I stop contacting him. "Dad," he said coldly, standing in my doorway, "from now on, please don't call me unless it's an emergency." I need space? Space? That word felt like a punch to the chest. "Jason," I said gently, "what did I do?" He sighed, frustrated, like my very existence annoyed him. "You didn't do anything, I just need boundaries." And then he walked away. No hug, no goodbye, but the real alarm went off the next week when I received a letter from the bank addressed to Jason, but mailed to my house because he used to live here. Normally, I would have just forwarded it to him. But the label on the envelope read, "Final notice, legal action pending." My heart sank. I didn't open it. Instead, I called him. He didn't answer. I texted him. No reply. I emailed him. Nothing. The silence was too deliberate to be coincidence. That's when I realized something. Jason wasn't pushing me out because he didn't care. He was pushing me out because he didn't want me to discover something. Something big. I went to his workplace. His manager pulled me aside with a look that said more than words. Michael, I think you should talk to Jason soon. He's been coming in late. Missing deadlines. Avoiding calls. Something's going on with him. And then the final confirmation. He took a loan against his projected commissions. A big one. And now he's months behind. Now I understood. Jason wasn't distancing himself from me emotionally. He was insulating himself from being found out. So I drove to his apartment. He didn't answer the door. I knocked again. Nothing. I called from outside. Straight to voicemail. I was about to leave when I heard shouting inside. Not from Jason, from Rachel. She opened the door, eyes red, face swollen from crying. Michael, she whispered, it's worse than I thought. Jason was crouched on the living room floor, surrounded by overdue notices, final warnings, and letters from collection agencies. He looked up at me like a cornered animal. What are you doing here? He snapped. I told you to stay out of my life. I stepped forward calmly. Jason, talk to me. No, he shouted. You don't get to judge me. I shook my head. I'm not here to judge you. I'm here because I love you. That's when his voice cracked. I didn't want you to know. I didn't want you to see me like this. He finally broke. Jason had taken out a huge private loan behind everyone's back to invest in a guaranteed business venture one of his friends hyped up. The deal crashed hard. He owed more money than he could ever repay. He was terrified I would find out. Terrified I'd see him as a failure. Terrified I'd lose respect for him. So instead of asking for help, he pushed me away. He cut me off. He isolated himself so completely that he almost broke every bond he had. I sat down beside him on the floor. Jason, I said quietly, the only thing that terrifies me is the idea of losing you. And that's when everything inside him shattered. He leaned forward, sobbing into his hands. Years of pressure, fear, guilt pouring out at once. Rachel cried too. I'd put my hand on his shoulder, and for the first time in years, he didn't pull away. We spent the next 3 hours going through his documents. The debt was bad, but not hopeless. He wasn't being sued yet. He wasn't being evicted yet. But he was close. Too close. I made some calls. Talked to people who owed me favors. Helped him set up a structured repayment plan. Got him into financial counseling. Forced him to cut ties with the friend who scammed him. And most importantly, I told him this: you never have to be perfect for me to love you. From that day on, something changed in Jason. He started calling again. Visiting again. Talking to me like a son instead of a stranger. Not because I fixed everything, because I knew his truth and didn't abandon him for it. His secret didn't destroy our relationship. Hiding it did. Today he's doing better. Working harder. Paying off his loans slowly but steady. And every time we sit together, drinking coffee, laughing, arguing about sports like we used to, he always says the same thing before he leaves. Dad, thanks for not giving up on me. I always smile and reply, son, I'll never walk away from you. Not even when you try to walk away from me.